Hey, welcome back to another video where me and Kai just basically go through some of the questions that you guys present us with on a regular basis. What are we covering today?
All right, so today we want to talk about people that are entering the industry when they're slightly later in life, let's say 30 plus, but this applies to anyone that's in their 30s and their 40s, 50s, 60s, 80s, 90s, whatever age it is, it's never too late to enter the industry. And as much as the answer to this question applies to people who are later in life, this also absolutely applies to people that are younger in life if they want to choose like a different path to the traditional route.
I think the most common thing, because obviously we get this asked quite a lot, can I still learn at this age?
Yeah.
Whatever age that is, 30s, 40s. I know for people on the course, I'd say mid-30s to 40s plus is probably the most common thing. And the old saying, you can't teach a old dog new tricks,
is not correct.
It is bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think the difference is as people get older, they think that 30s, 40s, it's not even old, is it? You just
No, I was going to say,
life,
I'm 35 in a week and a bit, and I don't feel old.
Your body's...
My body. Don't stop it.
It's like working with a cripple.
But in terms of like learning new stuff, I think the only difference in terms of learning, me and someone that's 18, fresh out of school, out of uni or whatever, is literally financial burden, and that's the only difference. There is no difference in terms of learning. The only difference is I've got bills to pay and mortgage to pay and car and all sorts of other bits that essentially hinder me from going down the traditional route where I could potentially go and do like an apprentice or something like an apprenticeship or something like that where it's going to be working for cheap or free.
I think as well, so they're like classed as negative sides, isn't they?
Yeah.
You struggle because you're 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever age it may be. You've got all these commitments. You can't just go get a traditional apprenticeship where you're working for free a lot of time for years. You've got a wife, husband, partner, kids to support, and you've got so much responsibilities on you. But on the flip side of that, you're more mature.
Yep.
You'll know what you want.
Yep.
You're probably, hopefully, better with your finances than you were at 18, 19.
Yep.
You look at life from a different perspective.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that as you mature slightly, that your desire for following your dreams is actually a lot higher.
Yeah. But I feel like we're deviating a little bit. We're just chatting about the age bracket. So what are the steps that somebody who is, 30 plus can take to start kind of their journey into the industry?
Like I said, personally, obviously I'm an advocate of Tattoo Method Pro. It totally depends on the current situation which they're in. If they want a hands-on, an apprenticeship might suit them. But again, commitments and things, it's almost impossible. I also think the downside to the apprenticeship is if you were a tattoo artist showing me something, and this were my apprenticeship now, and you were doing a design on somebody, and I said, oh yeah, I watched that line work, can you show me again?
Well, it's done, isn't it?
You fucking can't, can you?
Yeah, we have to wait for the next tattoo. And
this is what I try and explain to people. Even if I were in an apprenticeship, you were teaching me how to tattoo now. Everybody's got a mobile phone. I would ask, do you mind if I film this bit so I can just re-watch it?
Yeah.
That's basically what we've done on the course.
Well, yeah, it goes beyond that though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's you rewatch it with somebody telling you over the shoulder exactly how to do it, and then you practice the exact same stencils that you've just seen.
Yeah.
And honestly, it baffles me when people go, oh, you can only learn in an apprenticeship. It's just not the case. Like if you look at what the core process is to learning anything, an apprenticeship is so much wasted time that's not just focused on that, And also, how many tattoo artists have like a clear syllabus that you go through, rather than
very little.
Just be like, oh yeah, just do this, just do this.
And to be honest, and it's not even that. It's the dedicated time to explain in detail, rather than right, this is a line, you do it.
Yeah.
It's the thorough understanding, and I think that's one of the things that I pride myself on. Anybody that goes through the course, they don't just know how to do a line,
Yeah.
they could explain to somebody, this is why I'm doing it this particular way, and this is the effect if you do it differently. So yeah, I think online learning is the way to go. If you're not on with it already, you're going to be left behind. This is the way the world is going.
Yeah.
You've got to jump on the train. And I think once people get their head around it, they will actually understand it is a better way of learning.
Yeah, 100%. I would also add in that another benefit of being later in life, or starting this later in life, is that hopefully you've got a relatively stable income that you can use in the transitional period between learning or being, what's the best way of phrasing it? Like up to a point where you can start tattooing real people and having a successful business. There's a long period of time there building up your business where having a separate income stream is absolutely vital. So you're not just desperately trying to get tattoos in as much as possible.
Well, I think we use it on quite a few adverts, don't we? Earn whilst you learn.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that is the beauty about the online course, because although there's the initial purchase,
Yep.
after the fact you've got all your kit to put, but you're still working.
Yeah.
It's in and around your current lifestyle. If you can do 2 hours a couple of times a week, that's what you can do. If every night after you finish work, you're putting kids to bed and having 3 or 4 hours on mats, perfect. That is what you can do. So there's no rush. What we have had, and I think we actually did a video just on this topic, it's a 6-month course if you do every lesson every day, there and thereabouts. But the majority of people on course, it takes them around a year. And like I said, we've had hundreds and hundreds of people go through this now. So we've worked out rough averages. We've had some people, it took 2 years.
Yep.
There's no rush, there's no right, you've got to do this lesson. The more you put into it, I mean, just an handful of people that have took a year to a year plus, they actually don't work at the minute, the partners at Main Breadwinner, and they're actually spending 5-6 hours a day on the mat. So it's not that they're limited in time. However, some of them are just redoing lessons
Again and again. Until
again
it's
and
perfect.
again.
Yep.
And at the end of it, they're actually, it's fucking mind-blowing how many shops we've had open, and not just in UK,
All over the
America, Cyprus, Australia,
Germany,
fuck everywhere.
Poland. Yeah.
It's crazy, and the majority of people are in the 30s
Yeah.
plus.
Yeah.
And I think just on that basis, it's not can I learn, it's why am I not?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
The majority of people on the course are within that sort of age bracket. They're not young.
Yeah. Like, it will literally take you all the way through. So from never tattooing at all, no experience, right from a beginner, all the way up to a professional standard. And then we're just in the process, I think in the next couple of weeks, of filming a brand new business course. So it will teach you from nothing to being a professional standard tattoo artist, and then all of the business stuff on top. So it's just a clear process. And you've had someone go through the course and then the mentorship.
Oh, mate, fucking the results of that.
Yeah.
So we've got a mentorship program that's 14 weeks long, where I cover all the business and the marketing sides and just tips and bits of advice of how we do things different.
And this is what's getting condensed down into the business course that's going to be available to purchase soon.
Yeah, so at the moment it's done live. We jump on Zoom and I do it from a live, but obviously that restricts numbers and the amount of people that join. We've had that many people interested and are waiting for the next course. We've tried thinking of ways where we can do it where it's just available to anybody at any time and not restricted on my time. But the results are, and I didn't actually know this until last week, but one of the tattoo shop owners, he's had his shop open around 2 years. I'm not going to mention names because I don't want to take any credit away from his success. It is all down to him. All I've done is point him in right direction. But he'd been going 2 years. He had a few thousand at most on his Facebook page following him and following his work. I think, if I remember rightly, he said that he were never more than 2 weeks booked up, and even that way hit and miss. And within 11 weeks of being on the mentorship program, he's gone to been months and months, 6 months I think now, booked up, with 8 months of people, if he continues getting the the percentages that he's getting of people coming in for a consultation to the booking rates, which is 96% booking rate he's got a further 8 months all booked in for consultations.
It's crazy.
And it were only last week that he said, oh, it just slipped up in conversation. I thought he'd been tattooing a few years, got his shop established, but he actually learned how to tattoo on my course like 3 years ago. Never done anything like this, never worked for himself, followed the Tattoo Method Pro course, opened his own shop, been running for 2 years, struggling to get the customers. And this is the big thing in the tattoo industry. Look, it's not always about the work, it's about how you run your business. In fact, I dare say it's 80% business, 20% actual ability of tattooing.
Yeah.
Obviously, it goes hand in hand.
You need to be a reasonable quality, but I'm not a tattoo artist, I'm a business consultant, but my main thing that I do is photography as well. And in that industry, it's nothing really to do with how good you are at taking pictures. It's everything to do with how good you are at business. So long as your images are a decent quality, I've seen incredible photographers barely making a living, like barely struggling to get by, and then people who are fairly mediocre, I think I'll probably class myself in that bracket, making an absolute killing out of it. It's far more important that you focus on the business element side of things.
Hey, just quickly, in the description there's a link to my new book, Learn How to Tattoo. It covers all the lessons in the first 30 days, plus my journey through the tattoo industry, showing the mistakes so that you can avoid them. Also, I'll add a link to the new clothing brand. Make sure that you grab yours and be proud to be part of this next generation of tattooists. That's all, guys. Enjoy the video and make sure that you're subscribed and have that little bell press so that you're notified when we upload. We've got a shitload of stuff coming to the channel very soon. Cheers. Yeah, he's... I know, in that first week, just one thing that we changed, I'm sure he said he had around 68 inquiries. Just in that first week. So if he's charging 400 quid, 96% of those people booking in. Yeah.
Oh, so you make a fortune. Make an absolute fortune.
The money thing. So especially 30s, 40s, finances is obviously a really big problem and goal at the same time. But there's not many industries, obviously I don't know what job people are doing, there's not actually many industries that we're very little education or having to go to college, universities, that you can earn the potential that you can in the tattoo industry. I mean, this isn't an exact quote, but I'd probably put a vast amount of money just on the fact, or the guess, that the majority of decent artists earn far more than doctors, probably most surgeons, solicitors, that are classed as the high-end like jobs and incomes, earn little in comparison to somebody with a bit of artistic ability. And you don't need a business degree, or it is simple stuff. It's just thinking different. And one of the things that I like to say is everybody, a bit saying tattoo industry, it doesn't matter whether you've got a cafe, a gym, personal trainer, a tattoo shop, beauty salon, makes no difference. I was once on a course, and the one thing that they said, and this is backed up by numbers as well, is everybody, no matter what industry you're in, copies everybody else.
Oh yeah. So no, I've seen this a lot. Yeah.
But what we're doing is we're copying failures.
Yeah.
80% of any industry is 20% are in debt, 60% are just getting by, and that's where the majority of people live. So that's 80% of any industry is either in debt or literally just getting by. At end of month, the skin, then they're getting paid, then the skin, and it's that vicious cycle.
Yeah, you never break out of it.
That's 80% of the industry. So when we're just sat copying everybody else and what they're doing, it's like we're setting ourselves up for failure from day one.
Yep. So again, I'll go back to the industry that I'm most sort of in tune with. Is I'm in a lot of photography groups on Facebook, and there's a lot of people who are just starting out that post in the groups. Oh, you know what is everyone else doing for their marketing? And all of these people are just posting stuff that's wrong.
Yeah,
And there's just hundreds and hundreds of comments of just the wrong stuff that you shouldn't be doing. And how are you supposed to learn in that environment if you're just copying other people? You can't. And then, interestingly, there was another thread that came up recently that was, how much is everyone kind of earning on a monthly basis? And all of the people that commented in the first one with the wrong suggestions were earning absolutely nothing.
Just bear with me.
It's fine.
I couldn't see that green.
It's
fucking
green.
light.
Don't worry.
I think it were Earl Nightingale, and this is one of like my favourite quotes on that topic. And I actually followed his advice and did it. But if you imagine yourself blindfolded, you can't see a thing. You could get dropped off in any city centre, any town, and unless there were a signpost telling you where you are,
Yep.
you would have no idea.
Yeah.
They could take that blindfold off and you could look round, all the barbers look the same, all the gyms the same, everything in every industry, they all just copy one another.
Yeah.
But there's only the top 5%, there's the 1% obviously smashing life, and then the next 4% that are also very, very comfortable, that are doing things different to the rest of the industry to get different results.
Yeah.
But people just jump into an industry, copy what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
And translating that back to the tattoo industry in particular, for years and years and years, it's been, you can only get in through a tattoo apprenticeship. There is a new way.
Yeah. You could just bypass that completely and ignore people in the industry.
Yeah. Become the top couple of percent rather than listening. I kid you not, some of the people that... me and Kai actually have a laugh. The amount of hate that I get from creating this course, and if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, irrelevant, people following my course, no traditional apprenticeship, going off, opening their own studios. I mean, I've got one, in New York? The bloke that messaged saying, I've got 9 people.
Oh, yeah, that was New York, yeah.
So we've had one of the students go through the course, New York based, open a shop, no prior experience. Within, I think it was a year to a year and a half of opening the shop, he's now got 9 artists working for him full time. But if we'd have listened to these 80% of people in the industry, it's you shouldn't be able to do that. Well, you can do it. Proof's in the pudding. We've had hundreds and hundreds of people go through the course, open a shop.
Yeah.
Why can't you do it? We're listening to and basing our facts. And a lot of these artists that comment on my stuff, and I don't know whether they think it bugs me in any way, we sit and literally find it amusing. You can't do this, you're saturating the industry, you're doing this, you're an arsehole, blah, blah, blah. We've heard it all.
Yeah.
But quite often we'll click on them and think, this person must be very, very good at what they do, to be commenting nasty things.
I don't think I'd mind as much. Well, I don't particularly mind at all, but I think it would be less annoying if their work was shit hot. If an incredible artist came on and was like, oh, that's not how you do it, I think I'd probably take them more seriously.
Yeah, but these people, honestly, the work, I would never directly talk about an individual. We're not like that here. But I am going to start showing these anonymous artists' work that claim, look, I mean, we had one the other day who were slagging off on comments. You can't do this. I had an apprenticeship that lasted years, blah, blah. And I think he said he's been tattooing 20 years. So I thought, wow, I'm intrigued. I want to have a look at this person's work. So I clicked on him, fucking fire. The work was absolutely shocking. And again, I've said it in a few videos. These people, I actually feel sorry for him almost then, and I want to reach out and say, look, I'm going to give you the course. Because 20 years, I don't know what's been going wrong, but you've been doing it completely wrong. You're in that 80% of people failing in the industry, but thinking that you're copying everybody else and your work's dog shit. I don't understand how you're getting any customers. Your marketing must be extremely good to have been going 20 years.
Yeah.
Or just dribs and drabs and just getting by.
Just as niche as blind people.
Yeah. But yeah, I think to answer the question directly, anybody in the 30s, or like Kai said, it don't really matter about what age you're at. It doesn't matter about your current situation. Doing the Tattoo Method Pro course, you can do in your own time. There's absolutely countless. We could sit here and go on an hour just about the perks of doing something online.
Yeah. I think we've got videos about that.
There's nothing stopping you. The only thing stopping you, and I'm a massive advocate on this, is you.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking, can I do this? There's obviously some form of doubt there, whether it's age related, ability related, oh, I've never done it before. Nobody has until you've done it. And I think it's a mentality shift.
Yeah. The thing that I would say is that there is nothing stopping you from doing it except yourself. And the only thing that you should be worried about is whether you enjoy it or not. Because if you're doing it and you don't enjoy it, then you won't succeed in it. But if you're doing it and you love it, then there are clear steps that you can do to get where you need to go. Like, there's no doubt in it.
How many people's message saying, as if you've give this for free?
Oh,
about
yeah.
the 30 days.
We get loads of comments like, why is this free?
This must be a scam.
Yeah.
No, it's no scam. And Kai's just hit the nail on the head. You've got to enjoy it. The reason why we do the first 30 days free, completely separate to the course, you don't have to put any bank details in, nothing. You can literally just click the button, start doing the course. It's 100% free. We don't ask bank details, nothing. And it's just to, one, show you how we teach, make sure that we're a good fit together. And the main thing is make sure that you're capable of sticking to it and you enjoy the process. If you get halfway through and think, oh,
I'm not enjoying it.
I'm not enjoying this, it's not cost you a penny.
Yeah.
And that's also, even if you think, right, fucking hell, I've seen a few of these videos, yeah, Ben's course is definitely the way forward. I like the structure, I like how he teaches, I understand it all. It just clicks.
Still do the 30 days.
You still get the 30 days, money back, no questions asked, guarantee.
Yeah.
So either one of two things can happen. And this is extreme both ways. You absolutely love the course. It's worth every penny plus 10 times the amount. You go off, you follow it exactly as planned. And like loads of people, at the end, you've got your own studio. You might have 9 artists working for you in a couple of years' time.
Booked out for 8 months in advance.
That's obviously the ideal outcome. The opposite to that is you bought the course, you do it for a few days and think, wow, what a dickhead he is.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. You watch some of the lessons and think, oh, what a prick. Yeah. Don't like him.
You hate it. All you do is just, there's a way of doing it on Teachable, or you just message me directly. I never question anything. It'll just be, not a problem, issue the money back. I probably, for my own feedback, say, is there any particular reason why you wanted to leave? So I can improve the course if there's an issue anywhere. There's no objection to just saying, no, I just thought you were a dickhead. That's fine. I'd try to be less of a dickhead in future.
I'd advocate for saying that.
But yeah, it's basically you can't lose.
Yeah.
By going on the course. You can, if you enjoy it and you get the success that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Then you keep going. And there's absolutely loads of stuff that we've got planned and starting to implement now, moving forward, that I think, especially people later on, will appreciate a lot more.
Yeah.
But hopefully that answered the question. I know we've ranted on a bit then, but it's hard not to, isn't it? 'Cause I think each question, there's just so much to talk about that links to everything else. But
especially when this is an age bracket that was asked in the question that I think we're both in, and it's like, well, actually, I might just start doing the tattoo course just to prove that you can.
Even on that point, I'm constantly learning stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, at the minute, I'm on Photoshop courses, editing courses, fucking music courses. I'm learning a new instrument. I've got 2 languages that I've started learning. I think, and again, I would put this down to my age. It's like at school. Fucking hell, you're not interested.
Yeah.
History is an example. I hated history at school.
Yeah.
Now my kids are going, oh, we've done this at history. And my youngest son, he loves history. And he's teaching me stuff, but I just love listening to him because I think, one, wow, your brain a little twat. But then the other is like, why don't I know that? I'm in my 30s.
Yeah.
And I've got my 7-year-old son teaching me stuff about my own history.
Yeah.
So now I'm almost wanting to buy a few books on it, even back to like high school level learning.
Yeah.
To catch up on the stuff that I should have fucking listened to when I was younger, because now I'm actually bothered about being educated.
I feel like
not.
this is going to be a whole nother video at some point that we need to do on learning styles. Like I did horribly at school. I didn't listen because it was boring. But now there's so much that when it's taught in a way that interests me, I'm like, oh wait, yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I want to know more.
Yeah, even memory.
Yeah.
The one thing at school that they don't actually teach you, but in my personal opinion, is the one thing that they should teach you first. They're giving you information, but not teaching you how to actually remember that information.
Yeah.
Which I were on courses for actually remembering stuff.
Building mind palaces.
Yeah, it fucking, honestly, it boggled me. I used to actually do it with customers. I used to get them to write lists of between 30 and 100 things.
Yeah.
I'd sit and as I was tattooing them, I'd read through these things and I would remember all of them. And then at the end of 5 hours, they'd say, oh, what were number 43? Like we all can remember his mobile number.
Yeah.
Tell me your mobile number backwards.
Not on camera. Almost though.
But people...
Yeah, I know, yeah.
It's because we're remembering in an order, whereas if you remember something fully,
yeah,
I should be able to say, what's 7th digit? And bang, you'd know it.
Yeah.
That's because you understand how your brain works. But that's going totally off topic.
Yeah. We'll see if this bit makes it into the end cut or not. The last 10 minutes.
If you're 30 plus, basic, straightforward answer is there is nothing stopping you learning. If you want to become a tattoo artist, the only person that's limiting it is yourself. And you've got to make that decision. And it's got to be a strong enough decision to say, it might be difficult, it will be. I might have to put a lot of time into it, without a doubt. The full course is by far not a shortcut in the slightest. In fact, I dare say it's actually the opposite. Because rather than spending half a day, a full day cleaning, setting up stations, every single lesson is based on hammering them basics, learning and implementing the lessons and the methods that you've already learned, and doing designs. There's hundreds of designs from start to finish that you don't just do once, because I have a theory in tattooing is, listen, no two people would tattoo the same. So I teach you the principles and methods. I'll then show you I would approach it like this, or I'd explain, look, I'm using this particular needle, although in a real life situation I wouldn't, but I want you to practice using this method. And then do it in a different method. So you might do one design 3 times. The first one might be a stipple method shading. Second one, you might do the entire design with a round shader for all the shading. Third one, you might use a mag. The same design, the same tattoo, done 3 totally different ways. By doing it like this, at the end of the course, you're going to all of a sudden think, that is my go-to needle. This is the method of tattooing that suits me best. Here's all the work that I've done. I enjoy using this. I like the outcome of it. That's the style of tattooing that an artist that I'm going to be. The one thing that I will say is with other courses that I've seen, I get sent the logins to fucking every online tattoo course. The one thing that I don't like about any of them is they're very big on, this is the needle that you use.
For this, yeah.
That's wrong. And I'll blatantly say, every artist that does it in this manner, they're wrong. For simple reason, you could get 10 world-class artists and say, right, I want all 10 of you to do this tattoo. They would all use different needles, they'd all run the machines, and they all had to use the same machine, same everything. They'd use different needles, they'd run the machine at different volts, they'd do it in a totally different manner. The outcomes would be totally different. So who
is right?
Is right. There's no right or wrong. It's individual based. Yeah. So I think the one thing that I'll put myself above the rest on is I teach the different methods, even the ones that I don't use.
Yeah, I was going to say like the round shader stuff that you don't do when you're with your own tattoos.
So any of the work that you see on my socials that I've done from either recent or years ago, I will have never used a round shader to do any of it. I tried them, fucking hated them. They just weren't for me. But I know other artists that use them in every single tattoo and they love the effect and they love how it feels. So I implement and included it into the course because just because I wouldn't use it doesn't mean that you as a student, you might be the best fucking artist in the world with a round shader and you might hate Magnum needles. So one of the things that I think is vital in the course is, look, use everything, wait until you've had experience with it all and then decide what's the best way for you.
Yeah.
But on that note, hopefully that answered your question. We ranted on
and a few others, yeah.
But like I say, it's hard not to, especially when you're passionate about a topic, but definitely there's nothing stopping you. And on that note, cheers for watching.
I was going to say quickly before we head off, if you've got any questions that you want answering or us to do another video like this where we're just going to talk through different subjects, drop us a comment below and let us know.
And I forgot that bit. That's why Kai's here. Cheers.